Alright, welcome back. Last time, we finished the war with the Karamanans. Grabbed 2 provinces for myself, specifically the southernmost ones, and grabbed a bunch of provinces for Kartvelia, my new subject. I have to be careful with the vassal feeding. Eventually it gets too large and, well, stuff happens. That's all that needs to be said. Gonna need to start crediting provinces back at some point, though. Well, more provinces to the north. Yeah, my plan is to go up against the Ottomans soonish, whose ally took care of him, but that's it. So 2 heavy hitters that are, well, okay, 2 medium hitters that are both individually dangerous. However, I do have a lot of troops on my side, so I might be able to win this. Hopefully. At least then that means the Eretnites are the only thing standing between connecting up most of my provinces together. Yeah. I am having some manpower issues, but that's mainly because of noble loyalty issues. I also went ahead and, because I had a lot of loyalty at one point, reduced noble tax avoidance. The amount of money they lose should increase. Because not only does that mean that each amount of, well, every use of a certain level of tax gets me more money, but it also costs less money at the same time. So it's more efficient in both ways, which means it's going to get used more by the auto-taxer, which picks the most efficient outcome with regards to ducats obtained. Of course, that sometimes means the poll tax, which I specifically turned off this time, because I don't want to deal with it. It's just too much. Anyway, let's get on with it. And I immediately eclipse them. Okay, they're good with the peace deal. Oh, so if I... Andaman Odisha. Oh. Okay, that makes the peace deal a bit easier and apparently costless. Yeah. Fun with peace deals. More reparations, a few ducats. And now the Ottomans no longer have a coastline. My own coastline stretches quite a ways. Though sadly it makes my name smaller. But if I count my vassal states, my realm is now, finally, unified. Very well, contiguous outside of islands. The islands of Crete and, well, Kypros. So, theme system. Oh yeah, I completed the post Trebizond mission. I got a claim on Clargeti. Which one's Clargeti? I desire to know what is the which province is the province of Clargeti? Why specifically that province? Yeah, that's the province. Why do I get a claim on the province? That's weird. But I do get 10 legitimacy out of it. And better core creation on the Pontus. Yes. As well as another location. Believe it's the Chaldea area. So I get better core creation on one province. Woo! Worth it. I'm also almost done with the Across the Black Sea mission. For that though, I do need the Gothia province, which, well, Theodora would normally be a pushover, but they're subject to Yokiolus. No, I could do the war. I mean, Yokiolus is specifically sitting there. Because they probably want to wait the war out. It's how badly they're being beaten up by Sibiu. Wait, are they just... Okay, so Bashkiri as well. Well, Sibiu's definitely doing a good job of fighting. Yeah, this seems like a good point to stop. So... Well, the Ottomans decided to go ahead and invade the Eretnians, who were allied to Yokiolus, and drag Kirim in along as well, which meant that I could grab a bunch of territory in the next war. Specifically, these three provinces, plus the provinces that I wanted from Kirim, which are 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, my territory is finally contiguous again. If you include my vassal states and exclude, you know, the islands that would never be really considered contiguous. So, Crete and Kyprus. Also went ahead and grabbed tech and finished standing army ideas, so once the time rolls around with bureaucratic influence boosted, I can go ahead and get a bunch of reforms. Though I did accidentally miss the 1460 opportunity to do so, so I'll just do it next year. If I remember to do so, which is far from guaranteed, that's for sure. Although I don't think I'm going to do military... Well, I might. Because it's going to cost me 200 mil points. However, it will also solve my manpower requirements for the rest of the game, because I remember when I shifted as Dithmarschen, which, yeah, they've been dead for a while. 150 years after it's been conquered. They died in 1495. Jeez. No, 1395. Yeesh. Sad. Dithmarschen just tends to go away pretty quickly. Well, you weren't able to grab any gold mines that day in Bohemia, but I've been jumping in and out of rivalries over and over again. I've got no possible rivals at this point, and sadly, I'm not... Well, I was able to live off of all the eclipsing for a while to get extra monarch points, but that's done and over with for now. I was also half hoping to take advantage of the fact that, well, Sabir was battling Yokiolus, which, well, now Yokiolus doesn't have any allies anymore. I might go after them in order to grab provinces for Circassia, specifically for Circassia, specifically Circassia, But Hatakoi, Shekala, no, not Shekala, Carpathia and Abzania would all be potential ones. Because culture group. Plus, with Circassia, they would eventually shift to the Akjijie culture, which would make it easier for me to handle it. Plus, they would likely convert the provinces to a better religion, like I'm sure they plan on doing with Kopa, who is wrong religion, correct culture. Which tends to be more volatile in the short term, but is easier to handle in the long term. But yeah, I might end up doing that, which is one of the requirements for shifting to regional garrisons. Which would be good, because not only would it do that, not only would it get me more army professionalism, it would also allow me to integrate Maestra, so with 104 diplo points. Develop unitary and regional garrisons, or unitary. So I would need to upgrade my army in order to get that. But there's also the question of, will I get enough points? Okay, I probably will have enough points to grab tech. Subtract 240 from 522, and the result is about 282. Yes, the result is 282, so I would only need 282 mil points, and there's another 6 years of collecting points. Really, the trouble is how much legitimacy this is going to cost me, because it's going to be a lot. It really is. And the amount of stability I will lose in the process of doing this. As well as the question of how many admin points I burn, because I do want to get an admin idea group next. Because it's not like I can grab yet another military idea group. Because while that will allow me to bolster my military strength, I gotta ensure that I have the ability to hold on to what I conquer reasonably well, and not lose any advantages I have. Especially because casual literacy will be rolling around eventually, and I'm going to need points in order to get through it properly. And money in order to pay for the army, as well as the institution itself, plus any infrastructure I wish to build. Which will eventually happen, because of course it will. Probably going to work towards upgrading the Harbor Bridge in Constantinople again, for example. I mean, I've got nothing better to do. Let's see how effective that is. Costly, that is. I mean. Project, structure, Arborage to rank 4. Yeah, Harborage is cheap. There's plenty of residents in the area. Okay, swap to 4 parallelism. Construct. I haven't actually checked on provincial corruption at all, though. And stability is slowly starting to decrease, though it's probably for other reasons. Corruption's going down slowly, though it may increase if I choose to reform, minor reforms. I don't have enough state reach for anything interesting. Outside of reducing, depoliticization. Like moving to a spoil system, which will improve bureaucratic influence. But I only need 30 bureaucratic influence for these specific reforms. I can't even see the requirements for going from, for the tax collection system to 3, simply because of you need these 2. And if a reform is reliant on another reform, you can't really even see it. Yeah, and I also need 30 bureaucratic influence. As well as sovereign currency, everything else I already have. National taxation will require me reducing rural autonomy, going to rational divisions and universal law. I need academia. I also need 75 state reach, and, of course, 30 bureaucratic influence. It also give me plus 0.5 yearly state reach. Which would be amazing. But academia. is so far away. 1710. That's 300 years in the future. 300. At the very least, once I get it, it's gonna spread like mad across my country. Assuming I survive to that point, which is extremely likely. I mean, I'm not the kind of person to randomly lose the country. Polish Rusland. Will you integrate Lithuania at some point? Or grab some more Mongol territory for yourself? So you can actually connect all that stuff back up. Yeah, Poland's scary. Castilla's also starting to catch up. Well, okay, they're not exactly catching up all that much. I wonder how much of that might be colonies. Nothing. It's all Aragon. Okay. Their dev may explode once they reach colonialism, which is... Well... They should actually be getting close. If they specifically go for it, they start with naval ideas, so... It's very likely that they'll end up being... Well, they'll end up using their 5th slot for colonial ideas. Just don't have enough admin tech. They need admin tech 26, I believe. That's the... Yes. Portugal... Yes. Portugal has started going colonial. Though they have not unlocked any ideas for it yet. Still, out of the great powers, 4 of them are European. And 3 of the top 4 are European. Of course, top is China, because China. And then we've got, well, the Mamluks, who are Middle Eastern. And I'm definitely using that because it isn't right to call them African, it isn't quite right to call them Asian either. Then we've got, you know, 2 Indian powers, Yampur, Vijayanagara, and yeah. England at the very bottom. Good for them. Thing is, everyone is apparently so weak compared to me. I think it's because of the ridiculous size of my navy, which dwarfs anything else in Europe. Even England. Seriously, it dwarfs anything else in Europe. Okay, maybe not dwarfs England, but England is still smaller than mine by about 20%. Maybe a quarter. About a quarter. They're about 3/4 the size of mine, so I can't fight them off directly, and even then, because most of my ships are galleys, specifically for fighting in the Mediterranean, which I'm probably not going to leave in a very long time. Well, the Mediterranean and the Black Sea, which I'm not going to leave in a long time. Anyway, I've gone on for long enough. I'm gonna have to go up against the Karamanids and the Ottomans again at some point. Maybe try to go after Kurdistan and Servan. Although Karamanids and Servan are kind of a package deal at the moment through their alliance. However, I have proven that I can fight off Kirim thanks to decisive technological advantage and ship maneuvering. Woo. Anyway, I'll see you again next time. Until then, bye.